Wazye, Buju. You are now listening to Kahkenuh Aweyuk, Everyone Together on TikTok Radio, hosted by Kahkenuh Child and Family Services. We appreciate you tuning in to our weekly program every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. on Wawate Radio. Kahkenuh is a community-based child and family well-being agency rooted in and accountable to the First Nation communities we serve. We are here because we want to protect our children, help our families, and nurture our communities. On today's program, we welcome Rosemary McKay, who will share with listeners about the history and the uniqueness of the Kahkenuh service model.
Wachekitinawa kaknakanat tamek wawatenat tamon. Nin Rosemary McKay dishinkas kamekoch. Minan dantuki huma Kahkenuh Child and Family Services. Ugonon Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin pimuchkeonan nantukiunan duche antukatanan. Egomweni shortsbagnak Kahkenuh utibachmoon huma Kahkenuh Aweyuk Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin natitamonik. Egwa miene Kahkenuh nation kadak. Egwa napichat na wishin ngatibach tan huwe Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin na washib mochkeon kanunukwan. Anin hekiuch match chikatek pane komina nukum kapich kapim yabadak. 1984 kainak sichake ukmakanak chihak uki utapnanawapan Kahkenuh Child and Family Services winoa ewistipendam watch. Komiwe utanak miwe nukmakanak ni kankinapupanik winoa upmutama swatch wene awashiu tipenchikewen antukiwen pimuchkewen anshininago kuchuchipeme chuchipmuchkatek anshinuak chuchwichikwach. Ekawashme ukmawin winchuautapnach awashan mina winchunitkatak isenich awashan. Ukenok ukmakanak ispakusendam panik unikikmak winoachkanen mawach unichanchuan chisakiawach ekokoyakchkanen mawach ekanata chisenich. Ekokenok awashak mantu kikiminukwa. Mina ima chuche upikiakanwach hima tashikeonik mina ima ahin chikken mawach kaishwahkuchkewach ekomina ututemwan mina hiwe anshiniup matson ishikishweon ekomina tutamunan hima kauchiwach. Ekokenok awashak ekoshkatsak mawach ekchinintakok chikkendamwach awanenuwach mina atuetsewach. Mishachwenuk makana kaki ishikkendamwach min kusunek minakanwach. Wene chishapup mutwach wene kayash kchihakaki matswach utanakaki shnakonek utubikyawasunwa. Miwe 1999-2000 hiwe kainak sichak kekunan kisepanin hima Kahkenuh. Peshukoyek nanakas chikeon kiamakanupan eko hiwe pakusendamo kakpaknikatekpan weshkach utanakak pishnakak Obiki-ahwahsoowin chiyamakak. Hiwe mina kutak kakikchiatsek hima ukmawin awashiu tipenchikeon unahkunikewen kauchuautapnach ukmawin awashan. Ekipapasek mina wawipachekisek apinchinanepiche kanen utapnakanoach kwenok awashak ekoshkatsak unahkunikeonikuche. Amiwekakisek Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin awaship mochkeon kamayayamakak kikwenok unahkunikeonuak ekotayamihtamakek winoakiunih kitoach awashan keisenich. Kaun kekatmetne ukmakana kunikikmake konechuchihkituach ekonapit machine awashak ekoshkatsak himakpitikesewat. Kakimutamuakanoach ekominek maman pinmakanonich unichanchuan kwenok unikikmak ekonshiniu tashihkeunan. Mi bukowashme kimachnagwak residential school system kakishnagwak mishta iwawanen tamun Eko mina kiswasun kakoyak ekiuchuitan kimakanu tiknakan child and family services kapichmachnako kiwe. Eko we tiknakan utebo kimachstun hiwene weskachkakishnako upikiawasun chiapa taknukum wekakishkak. Como ukmawan kontu chipakitnat sunyanan tiknagan ekishpakusenta kupan Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin awashup muchkeun mekoach kaushtuch chikiwichiachukwenu anshiniu tashihkeun nan kewinu apako tipinawecho cheyawachuenu tawashup muchkeunwa. Mitashiwe we mekoach kauchiapachtuch kiapit ima tiknakan kiwene Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin winukma pakitnat sunyanan mine unikititskishnakwan kiwene awashup muchkeun shakuch mayakse mishtahi apinikuch Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin awashup muchkeun kauchiapatak hakukwenoka ukmahkana kutkutunwa pakusentamunwa ekiapatanik ekiknikatenik huma Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoonik kokweno kaya anshiniwe ankinakanak himatiknakan winoaki matan tukatamuache kohpenikuchuetek ishotuach kitashihkeunwa ekiutapnikatenik unikikmak chihak ukwenoka uhkumak umshumak unikyukmak ankinakanak uskatsak komina pahkana uyakutukunwa. Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin awashup muchkeun amhuemayam hiwe witan tukimitnanok. Ukwenok awashak eko tipenchkeun unikyukmak ekachipikunikatenik chipikunakwanwach. Ukwenok unikanitamakek mipkukwenok kahkinak chihak ukwenok aishwahkuchkanok ukwenok chmawach kaya himakayan kiatashihkeunik chuichiawach unikyukman koyakchikanuen manich unichanchshuan. Mukukwenok kahkinapuku isene chihkituach pakitnamuatuchkitunin kashpakusentamuachish munsene chikwenuen awashan skatsan eko unikyukman. Miekauchis apachtuch howe tiknakan huene Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin awashup muchkeunan pepanun nahkutamake upepanun utayanan kamasnautisiek. Ukwenok unikyukmak masnautiswake kamekoach koyahkahkanuen mawach unichanchshuan. Tiknakan amioneshnikanahten kutantkiyun kewinchuichiach unikyukman chinanatuen tamuach koyahkeisenich minachkanuen manich unichanchshan tamnahkakino ukwenok awashak kiminikusunwa mina kikchpapamisnawa kinoa koyahchopikari ukwenok awashak uskatsak himakauchiwach. Amiwe minikuk iwe tiknakan hakapachtud Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin awashup muchkeun kiapichkuehman tukachkatek ekkentamahkekunanen yapichi ayanimseken. Amiwe wachi kahkinekitnawa mantu kaushawenimkwa. Wachi to everybody that is listening to Awate Radio. My name is Rosemary McKay and I'm presently working for Tiknagan Child and Family Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin Special Projects Coordinator. This will be the second story that Tiknagan will be sharing on their weekly radio show called Kahkenuh Aweyuk E2 Together on TikTok Radio. I will briefly talk to you about Tiknagan's service model called Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin. This means everyone working together to raise our children, and how Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin was started and why it was developed. The chiefs from the Anishinaabe Nation, including the elders, created Tiknagan back in 1984. The chiefs back then had a vision that they wanted their own child and family services that is culture appropriate to the ways of their people. They no longer wanted the government to have control over the welfare of their children. They wanted their own families to look after raise their children, to love them, and to keep them safe from harm. Children are a sacred gift from God, and they wanted to see children raised up in their own communities and stay connected to their extended families, friends, and their culture, language, and customs. The children and youth will know their identity and where they come from. The chiefs knew this was their inherent right as lived and practiced by their ancestors in the past. In 1999 to 2000, many changes happened within Tiknagan. There was an organizational review, and one of the recommendations was to create a customary care model. The other change was in the Child and Family Services Act, which I will call CFSA. When children were apprehended through the CFSA, it became much easier and faster to remain in Tiknagan care until they aged out at 18 years old under Society and Crown Wardship Court orders. Before Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin service model, Tiknagan totally followed their mandate from the CFSA. It was the court judges and lawyers that made the decisions on the children's future on behalf of the chiefs and parents. The First Nation communities basically had no say. Therefore, many children and youth ended up in the court system. So under CFSA, children were snatched and stolen from the parents and in the communities. It was basically the same as the residential school system, if not worse. It created further trauma, anger, distrust, and conflict to Tiknagan communities. Tiknagan then began working to develop a customary care model based on the revisions to the CFSA made in 1984 when Part 10, Section 208 was added. The government did not provide financial help to Tiknagan when they created Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin service model to assist the First Nations to develop their own child welfare models. In the end, the model stayed with Tiknagan, since the agency was mandated and funded by the ministry. This meant that Tiknagan, for the time being, had to mirror Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin service model with the ministry standards and case management procedures in their child protection work. This is the reason why Tiknagan worked hard to develop Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin service model that is based on the chief's original vision. It began with Tiknagan staff from First Nations communities, and then Tiknagan went to the communities to listen to the leadership, elders, grandparents, parents, workers, youth, and other people. Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin service model is about working together to keep children and families together. The chief and council, grandparents, elders, extended family, resource workers will help parents care for their children. All these people have the right to make decisions, to provide support, and have a say whenever possible what happens to their child, youth, and parents. This is why, as a parent, you sign the Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin agreement forms when you are experiencing difficulties in looking after your children. Tiknagan is committed to help you to find resources to heal. Your children belong to you, and that is your responsibility to raise your child in their home community. Today, Tiknagan does ongoing work on Mamow Obiki-ahwahsoowin service model in order to reflect the changes happening to our families, children, youth, communities, and from the outside world. Amiwe, Kahkenuh Aweyuk E2. May God bless you all.
On September 30th, Tiknagan Child and Family Services invites you to participate in Orange Shirt Day to show support for residential school survivors. By wearing orange, we can stand together and honor the journey of healing and resilience of our Indigenous peoples. Commit to reconciliation and show your support by sharing your orange shirt post on social media using the hashtag #ICommitOSD before and on September 30th. Visit tiknagan.org to learn more or follow Tiknagan on social media.
Do you enjoy working with First Nations children? Do you want to work together with your First Nation community while still living in the city? Then consider becoming a foster parent in the District of Thunder Bay with Kahkenuh Child and Family Services. They provide ongoing support for foster parents to ensure a safe family setting where children can thrive. Become a foster parent with Kahkenuh in Thunder Bay. To learn more, find us on Facebook. Call 1-800-465-3624 or visit kahkenuh.org.